All right, we're live.
I'm gonna have a good time for like 10 or 12 minutes. Gonna have a really bad time for 5 minutes.
What's up, fellas?
You're gonna have a good time listening to Sysyphus, Noah. That's what you're telling me.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'll have a good time for 12 minutes. Yeah, 12 minutes.
What's going on, AT Field? James Diamond, Martin M. What's this about having a good time? They were talking about the album.
Yeah, we're about to have a
Mobbing and
great
raise
time.
no bitch. Apparently not, Hugo. You guys, as you guys demand, we will
You
do.
sick fucks. What is wrong with all of you?
Hi, Jonathan. I have an interesting poll for this stream. Very interesting.
Is this the worst Pink Floyd album?
No. Is this the worst album by a great artist?
Oh.
You still say the live disc is better than the studio disc? The live disc may be better than the studio disc, but we've also already heard all those songs, so there's no point in redoing them.
Yep, and the live songs are, in my opinion, not as good as the studio versions of those songs. At least most of them. Oh yeah, Kanye. No, Kanye has a great discography. Ye has a bad discography. Ye. That's it. Like, Kanye post name change was bad. I won't say my opinions yet on the narrow way, but big ups.
Still got your bottle with me, and glad for you. You're gonna need it.
We had Hugo drinking early and couldn't do the stream because my entire fucking state's on fire.
Yeah, we apologize about the multiple delays on this one. Things are just out of hand that we could not. I mean, we could have done it. We could have streamed 2 days ago, but it would have been at 10 p.m. Eastern, and majority of our audience, or at least our live stream audience, would just not have been able to watch it. All right, looks like we got about 14 people in here so far. I think we can get started. This is the only album which you prefer Roger's contributions to David's. Is that how you pronounce yay? You pronouncing it we? Yeah, it's pronounced yay, not we.
Yeah, it's just Kanye shortened.
Yeah.
He's very creative.
Just the last 2 letters of his first name. Well, technically that is his first name now. No, you even got the wall shirt on?
I do.
I have a new...
I didn't mean it.
I have a new, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't even know if it's a live stream camera going to pick this up. Shit, no, hold on. Let me go grab it real quick.
Is that a Beatles poster?
Let me show you what I bought.
I gotta grab something too, actually, now I think about it.
Went out today. Little antique shop. Got myself a really retro looking...
Is there a bomb going off in the background?
It's a splash of color. I don't really know what era this is, but it looked really cool. Can't really tell what era.
I mean, that's pretty early Beatles based on what they look like.
But it looks pretty damn cool. And yeah, I'm a fan. I'm gonna post this up right next to my MMLP one, which you guys can't see, but there's a Marshall Mathers LP poster looking thing over there. A lot of things catching fire over there right now. That's true. Apparently, a lot of people have to evacuate. You've been pronouncing it like ye all this time? That's fair. All right, we're going to wait for Noah and then we'll get started. Not sure where you went.
I've been waiting to show this baby off. Let's get these headphones on. Oh my.
Oh my lord.
She's out.
Wow.
She's loose.
You actually have an Ummagumma poster.
My vinyl. It was my first ever vinyl.
Oh.
And I got it as a joke.
By the way, Relapse is better than MMLP. See, I told you. There are legitimate Eminem fans who think Relapse is one of his best albums of all time.
It's not.
I told you.
It's definitely not better than MMLP.
That's true. But there is a serious section of the Eminem fan base, I'd even venture to say upwards of 20% who believe that. All right, you guys ready to get started?
I didn't know we were at 1,200 subs.
We haven't reached 1,200 subs. We're at 1,217. Let's get started. Your favorite of all their album covers? That's not even really.
It's it's interesting.
I like the mirrored thing they're doing with changing each person in the picture on the frame. I like that. That's cool, but it's kind of a boring cover overall.
I like that the picture's like constantly going.
Better than MMLP 2 at least. Okay. The terrible relapse takes are not happening this stream because I'm gonna get angry. So we're not doing that this stream. All right, let's get this started. Let's get this over with.
I think a more accurate term is, yeah, there you go.
Let's get this over with. My computer just does this every time I want to record sometimes. There we go. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Three Idiots Talking Podcast. Today we are continuing Pink Floyd's album discography, going into their 4th studio album, right? We're at number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, their 4th studio album. So if you guys might have recalled, last video or last stream, we put up a poll. A lot of you guys were able to vote. We put it up on our Discord and in our community, on the community post on the YouTube channel. We asked you guys, do you want us to react to Ummagumma's album, the album Ummagumma by Pink Floyd, the 4th studio album? Now, there's a very specific reason we asked you guys this, and we'll get into that in just a second. In a very close race and a very close poll, and one of our most voted, I think maybe even our most voted poll that we've ever put up, the answer was yes. You guys did want us to react to Ummagumma by about 8% was the difference. So we're here to react to Ummagumma. We will not be doing this one, meaning the live songs, because we have already heard all these on their studio albums from previously. We're going to disc 2. Straight off the bat.
We're here to do original studio.
We are doing original studio. Yes, go ahead.
One of them's not on those other albums.
Well, we're here to do original material.
Okay, that's understandable.
There it is. So, yes, for all the people who tell us that, their live stuff is so much better. It may be, but we've already heard it. So we're doing original stuff. In chat. So, let's get into the meat and bones of why Ummagumma. Why do we even have a poll for this album? Why did we even ask the people?
Stream is going mute sometimes.
Stream is going mute. I am getting some. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. I have absolutely no idea. I've never received this error before. Somebody check it. Is it actually shitty? Chat, is stream okay? How we doing? Fine for you?
Cole, you gonna explain the new biome we find you in?
Oh yeah, I moved.
Chat, Noah, Cole, it's something, I guess. It's fine for you guys. All right, well, if chat says it's going to shit, I'll fix it. But until chat tells me it's going to shit, we're going to continue. All right, so Ummagumma, why did we put up a poll? Why did we care so much about this particular album? Cole,
I can wrap this up real quick.
Tell us why we were discussing this to even do this one.
Well, May I?
All right, no,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
for it.
As the resident Floyd fan, it fucking sucks. It's not good.
There you
But
go.
people really like watching others in like a lot of displeasure. So it won, even though this thing is fucked up. I mean, there's some good parts, but holy shit, this is like groundbreaking for how bad you can make some music.
So let me say this, because there are a couple people in our Discord, some really odd folks, who think Ummagumma is a great album. And I saw somebody say it's one of their top 3.
I think those are people who can't admit that Pink Floyd ever made anything bad.
So they're just diehards, is what you're saying.
Fair enough, man.
They're just diehards.
Or they enjoy malarkey. I don't know.
All right. Well, I mean, there's really not much else to say. We've all heard this album before. There's about 0% of us who enjoy this. The people who do enjoy it, there's about maybe 5% of the Pink Floyd population who enjoys it. This is going to be just a painful review. So, like, ahead of time, for those who are watching on YouTube, we're telling you this ahead of time. We do not like this album. But things change, and maybe somehow something will click on this. I have my extreme doubts, but we're going to go into it. We're going to try to get through Ummagumma. Anything else we want to say? Anything else at all regarding this album?
You people are sick bastards.
Yeah, you guys are really messed up for this one. All the albums we've done for you guys, and this is how you treat us. All right.
Make contributions, and it's good.
There it is.
I'll comment on that later.
All right. Well, it's time to get into it. Ummagumma Disc 2, starting with Sysyphus Part 1.
You're playing it. Oh wait, I can turn the game.
Is it not playing?
It's playing live right now. Hold on.
I paused it. What's the problem?
I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
in the jam.
jam got cut out. Yeah.
Oh, we took too long. All right.
I was wondering.
Great. We're
I was hearing that.
Gonna have to restart it. Fantastic.
I was wondering why I was hearing crowd noise.
Stream's going good so far.
Are we not gonna listen to "Careful with That Axe, Eugene," since it's not an actual album? That is the only one we might consider doing. All right.
Might bring that out at the end.
Starting off, Sysyphus Part 1.
Oh, brother.
Oh, yeah. That's noises.
I can't remember if it's 2 or 3, which is like the really bad one. But this is okay.
Hello, no username 6. Shout out to Croatia.
Croatia. My goodness.
Some boss bottle ass music. Yeah, you're right about that.
I guess I'll kick it off and go first when this is done.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm spelling this.
Sysyphus is Rick. That's Richard's part. Narrow Way is David's part.
All right, that was Sysyphus Part 1. Noah, if you want to kick it off.
Ain't this foreboding, menacing,
frightening?
Thank you. Yeah. The actual melody is not bad. It is not bad at all. I think the percussion kind of sounds like shit. And I don't know if the big hits are happening when they should. But like besides that, for only being a minute song, it is perfectly okay. I would give that a 5.
5 from Noah. Cole?
I don't really know why this has to be part one of something and why, because it's not even really it's just like the bare bones intro of something else. Like you could have just put this on part two. I don't really know why it's a separate thing. It's not I mean the production's not good because they haven't really figured that out yet, but I don't know. It's too uneventful for me to hate it or like it. So 5. I agree with Noah.
So it's a very cool sounding intro. Nothing really happens. It's just bum bum bum. It's just a tone setter. Sysyphus, the story about a guy pushing a boulder up a mountain, is what it's attempting to set up, and we're in part one of that. So, yeah. Other than what Noah said, there's really not much to disagree with or change. Sounded fine. No real issue. A little short. Kind of wish it was just morphed into one song instead of 4 parts. But yeah, 6. Nothing egregious from it.
All right,
You must
Patrick.
picture Sisyphus as happy.
Why don't we judge them in the complete album sides rather than parts? YouTube will kill us. If we were just to play it like nonstop all the way through, the streams would get like booted down very quick.
For those who are wondering why we often judge like that, it's super hard for us to even get do multiple 9-minute songs in an album without YouTube taking us down 25-30 minutes or less. If you do shorter songs and cut them up on stream, you're able to get through far more of an album than you would without having to restart your stream. So that's the main reason. All right,
do not worry. I'm pretty sure we've all heard this before.
Yes. Sorry, I was wrong. Sisyphus is Richard Wright's section of the album. This is Rick's contribution. Yeah, it wasn't unpleasant. Why don't you just judge? Oh, that's what he was saying. Recreate the Godzilla theme from memory. 4.5. Just the thematic feeling intro track from me. 5+ from I'm Him. 6.5 from Jonathan. 6 from Carnicorn. Oh my God, why is this broken up on streaming? Yeah. Is it all one track on CD? I have no idea.
Don't know. Never owned a CD before.
Well, you could tell it's definitely made for vinyl because it kind of probably seamlessly switch between the tracks. But yeah, on streaming, it's not the best.
Indeed, AC Field. I'm familiar with the story of Sysyphus, so I actually know what they're going for here. The guy pushing the boulder up a cliff, but can never actually get it up the cliff, but continues doing it even with the issues presented to him. It's a weird story. All right, part 2.
You must picture Sisyphus as happy. I don't remember where that came
from. I've never owned a CD before either.
I've owned 1 CD.
I've been given
DVDs before.
Yeah, I guess they were DVDs. Although I think somebody gave me some.
I've never owned a boombox, a jukebox, or any type of cassette machine or anything that played music on.
I've never bought a CD. Is a better thing to say.
Hey, this birdie.
Not really.
It's
a
faded.
bit awkward.
Doesn't really make sense in the scheme of what it was going through beforehand.
I enjoy it.
It's kind of faded. Sounds like it was recorded outside the room.
It sounds like it was recorded in 1850.
Kind of like on a stenograph or one of those
This is Bach.
Yeah, let's compare Sysyphus Part 2 to
It sounds
Bach.
like it was recorded on a I lost it. I had it and then I lost it. Phonograph. I don't even know if
Oh my God.
I don't even know if that records audio.
Yeah, it does.
Playback.
Okay, I guess it's Sysyphus Part 3. That's a really bad one.
Not really a whole lot happening here.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a piano guy just do his own part without any help.
Yeah, you better watch himself comparing Sysyphus to Bach.
I don't know why people like classical music so much. Outside a couple things, I think it's kind of boring.
This just sounds like shit. Right here just sounds like shit. This is... Anyone who thinks this sounds good is just deluding themselves. You are delusional.
Oh my god. My fucking god. My ears are being blessed.
My ears are getting a different R word.
Oh, I wish my house had burned down. Oh, it's so good. My fucking throat is so bad. Why?
What the fuck is this? What is this supposed to be?
This is deeply upsetting.
This isn't prog. This isn't experimental.
It's
not psychedelic.
Avant-garde.
It's not even that.
It is. It's just bad.
Pure genre name it is, but... Yeah, that was something. All right, part 2. Guess I'll start. I think we all pretty much mentioned it. It started out relatively okay. There's nothing wrong with this beginning minute or so. Just a piano doing some piano things. It was when it became like absolutely diluted and clueless with no direction, and he just started hitting random parts across the keyboard at random moments and intersecting keys in there, that it became stupid and pointless, and we just lost all sense of direction in the song. And then it doesn't help that you have this big booming sound in the background come through that completely distorts and tries to make it into this like eerie sounding tone that doesn't come across as that at all. It sounds completely out of stride and no mix. So yeah, not too much to say either here. Really ruined what could have been a decent melody of a piano. I'm gonna give it a 3. Noah.
Yeah, it was recorded pretty rough, but that doesn't really bother me that much. I thought the first half of it was actually pretty. Thought it was pretty nice. I don't think it was structured the best, but it sounded good, even though it felt a little off kilter. Second half, we just lost we lost everything. We lost all sanity. Kind of my issue with some things that are defined as psychedelic. Sometimes it can just come off as just noise making. Like somebody would call that psychedelic. I would call that shit. But like the first half, I'll give that a 4.5.
4.5, Cole.
The first half is, I would just mostly whatever. It's not particularly terrible. I don't know. I don't think it's all that pretty of piano playing, but whatever. The second half is just a very bad attempt at making some avant-garde music. Yeah, I'm gonna give that like a 4.
One big issue I keep coming back to with this album is what the fuck is the point of this album? But we'll have to figure that out another time. Has Richard tuned up yet? It doesn't sound like it, or he's in the process of doing it. 8-Fit, I did read what you were saying before about Sysyphus's origin. I get that. Nothing really happened. At least part 1 had a sound. This one's just generic ass piano. 4 out of 10. Cool warm up for piano, but not a cool song in general. 4.5 to a 5. 3.5. It's still better than Libby Mason's 10 flute on Greenest of Color. You're probably right about that. I'll give you that. It's Midnight for Me. The song is a 4.5. 3.5 to 4. We'll start off okay. Second half fell off a cliff. 3.5. Hey, listen, you guys voted for this, so just letting you know that. Moving on to part 3.
There it is. This is what I remember this one well. Oh, this most definitely plays in my trap house.
There's some pretentious bastards out there who'd be like, you just don't get it.
Oh yeah.
This is insanely psychedelic.
Was this recorded from my trap house?
This is the same band that went on to make Echoes.
Fucking Bowser in the background. And then Kanye West on Helium in the background as well.
Sounds like one of those springs that you bounce around on.
It sounds like something that's going to become a very big issue later on.
Hey guys, you know what sounds really good? Monkey noises.
The drums!
Let's all hit our instruments together at the same time and speed it up and see what happens. No coordination, no rhythm, no melody. And add monkeys. That makes it better.
God, what the fuck?
Well, that was a waste of a minute.
There's like Kendrick Lamar trying to scat in the background.
Yeah, part 3, Cole.
Oh man, that was really painful. I don't even. It's just really bad experimental music. I don't know what anyone would get out of that really. I'm feeling a 0. I don't know why that exists.
I couldn't find a single thing to not hate. 0. Noah's gonna say the monkey noises are funny.
I was actually gonna say it's kind of funny, I guess.
I knew you were gonna say something was funny about this.
I mean, it is funny.
Would you ever listen to this voluntarily ever again?
Oh, yeah, I could.
Okay, you're
It's
just
a minute
lying.
and 50 seconds.
Just lying.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5.
You're
It
lying.
actually felt longer.
It
how
did.
long it is,
It
which
really
is
did.
wild.
1:49, and it felt like it was 4 minutes. All right.
Next song's 7 minutes.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple like that. Wow, my ears are blessed with shit. Guys, just don't get it. The depth of this, the banana wall has so much depth, man. It's such art. True, Hugo. How could we miss that one? This is my 3rd favorite Floyd album. Wow. Yes, it's fucked up and a head fuck. You'll come back to it much later in life, I'm sure. No, I won't. This album is best described as a summation of early Floyd's eccentricities. That's a big word. Okay, whatever you like to say.
I think this album is a representation of what people do when they have no guidance.
I think this album is a reputation of people who just probably discovered acid and were like, let's do something wacky. Jonathan with a 2. I'm him with a 2. Patrick Rasmussen with a 10. Love it. Big fan. Pin Sticker with a 2 for being brief. I would not want to listen to this while on acid. I can't think of a single reason how acid would make this album better. It would probably just freak me out more, honestly. 3.2 from No Username. That's the biggest disaster of a song I've ever heard. You're in for a great album then, Jonathan, because it gets worse. 2, just because it's Floyd. Ryan, what do you prefer, this or Spanish Piece? I'd still take this over a Spanish Piece, though. That was some true horrific dog shit. That scarred me a bit. Can't even lie. 1.5 from Hugo. 0 from Tim Leverton. All right, part 4. Three out of 10 from Carnicorn. It's not the worst song on the album, Carnicorn, but there are multiple 0s on this album. Gustav, there are some people who think this is a great album. So,
Hugo, you're gonna have to take a shot for every song that's a 2.5 or lower.
bro is going to
Gonna
be
get alcohol poisoning.
Swedishly wasted after this. You know, Tim, for the most part, I agree with you, but there are Pink Floyd fans who think this album is great. I've a couple in our Discord.
I haven't met any. I don't know if I've interacted with any people like that.
The guy in our chat right now thinks this is a top 3 Floyd album.
Yeah, that's a first for me.
But wait, there's more. See, this is perfectly pleasant. Nothing wrong yet. How many tracks are left? Oh, buddy.
Way too many.
Few.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Couple short ones.
6,
Couple
7.
2 under a minute.
9 more to go through.
But 2 of them are under a minute.
We're about to reach Pink Floyd in a minute, though. Peak Pink Floyd in a minute, though.
Are we?
It's your favorite.
Grantchester Meadows. Okay.
I know, Patrick. I know. Well, HC Field, I would say that sure, I'd feel vindicated that all Pink Floyd hate this record. At the same time, they put it out. They could have stopped it.
They didn't
They had to put
know.
out something.
The shit is ass. This is not bad right now. A little boring, but not bad.
Oh boy.
I always forget when it happens. Oh, my apologies, Woolney. I just saw what you said.
Glad they put a jump scare in the song.
Really helps build your audience, right?
Yeah.
What I don't get about this album is not like some horror movie album. There's nothing really about this album. I mean, you might get scared listening to this album, but there's not built for that.
This album does scare me in other ways.
What are we doing? What is this?
I'm going schizo.
You know, we're trying so hard to find a rhythm in chaos. What are you bouncing to right now? There's nothing doing what your head is doing right now.
You get lost in it, man. Lost in the sauce.
There's not a single instrument that's going do 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 do.
Oh yeah, the boss music.
Bowser's Castle.
Type of shit that makes me get ready to take on an oddly large reptile. You know, honestly, not bad. Holy shit, what a banger.
Well, Noah, you love it so much, you get to start. Sysyphus.
This song was so amazing. I had such a good time.
Mm.
The last part was really cool. 1.
You giving it a
I'm
1?
feeling a 1.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm feeling a 1.
See, I can't really tell because you're lying half the time, so it's very odd.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like there's probably some type of structure here that they were going for. They just did it horribly. They executed it terribly, and there was like no rhythm or melody to this whatsoever. I thought the atmosphere was kind of cool that they created. I don't really see how it blends in with the rest of Sysyphus part 1 through 3 whatsoever, except maybe part 1 was a little spooky at the beginning. Everything just sounds so outdated and so poorly mixed. I could give it like a 3.5. It's not horrible. Cole.
Oh yeah. Why are we here? Just to suffer? You sick bastards.
What chat wanted.
I really despised everything except for like the ending, but everything beyond that was just awful. Yeah, I'm feeling a 1 on this one as well.
And you know, I guess I'm being a bit more recency biased, because the last 2 minutes were kind of decent in terms of the vibe it created, but the first 4 were just horrible. Just horrible. And it's so long. Why does this need to be 7 minutes? I don't know. All right, literally Five Nights at Freddy's. Honestly, I like the idea of this album. Each band member gets their own, that they can call, each piece of music they can call their own. The execution is just very bad. This is like cult B-grade movies. Sometimes you just love those movies for no good reason. I mean, there are certain movies you can like for that are just not very good, and you just like. I get that. Hey, it's still better than Imagine Dragons stuff.
I'm waking up.
It's different bad. It's different bad. I'm him. Jonathan was 6.5. 3.5 would have benefited from tongue-in-cheek bad Spanish accents. No, sir, it would have not. 5.5 for Jump Scared. Not bad, but too long and boring. 5 to a 5.5. I actually liked how it closed. Yeah, I mean, it had a decent ending. Long and boring. 3. Yeah, that's exactly what I could say about this whole album. Long and boring. Honestly, though, doing every album will help you guys. Yeah, exactly. If the Floyd fans doom scroll through our channel, they can see that we have gone through every album, and you can't complain about that at that point. All right, up next, Grantchester Meadows.
Gotta have a heck of a take about the song when it's done.
Legitimately an annoying sound.
I like the birds. It's pretty.
Hi, Cosmic.
Oh, goody.
I see wind of night, be gone, this is not your domain. In the sky a bird was heard to cry. Misty morning whisperings and gentle stirring sounds belie the deathly silence that lay all around. Hear the lark and hearken to the barking of the dog fox gone to ground. See the splashing of the kingfisher flashing to the water, and a river of green is sliding unseen beneath the trees, laughing as it passes through the endless summer, making for the sea. In the lazy water meadow I lay me down. All around me golden sunflakes settle on the ground, basking in the sunshine of a bygone afternoon, bringing sounds of yesterday into this city room. Hear the lark and hearken to the barking of the dog fox gone to ground. See the splashing of the kingfisher flashing to the water, and a river of green is sliding unseen beneath the trees, laughing as it passes through the endless summer, making for the sea.
Hell yeah. Okay, settle down, Ryan.
No, I won't.
How can one be agitated by this?
It's very simple.
It's very pretty.
You miss nothing, AT Field. Absolutely nothing.
You're missing a high point.
In the lazy water meadow I lay me down. All around me golden sunflakes covering the ground.
That is an insane comment, Patrick.
That's an understandable comment, though I'm pretty sure David Gilmour played the bass part on Pigs.
Of yesterday into my city room. Hear the lark and hearken to the barking of the dog fox gone to ground.
Big fan of the hook.
See the splashing of the kingfisher flashing to the water. A river of green is sliding unseen beneath the trees, laughing as it passes through the endless summer, making for the sea.
Yeah, I thought David played both. I know Roger was kind of stopped playing instruments at a certain point. I hate to want to go first all the time, but like, I feel like I have to. Walking.
Bro missed it like 13 times. How pathetic is that? Alright, that was Grantchester Meadows, Noah.
This is pretty. Big fan of the little naturescape that Roger Waters creates on this one. I find it to be very relaxing. Kind of just reminds me of waking up early on a morning, feeling good, laying in my bed, hearing the birds chirping outside my window. Very peaceful. I think the lyrics on the song create a very nice image in your head. Very different than what the rest of the album has done. This is just very, very laid back. The rest of this was the rest of the album so far has been kind of creepy. I do think that this song gets placed on a pedestal a little higher than it should be by Pink Floyd fans, just because of the things that surround it. So I think this song is slightly overrated, but I still think it's a really good song. Perhaps a teeny bit too long, though. I would give that an 8.
Cole.
It's a good song. You fuck it up, Cole.
Not a particularly big fan of Roger Waters trying to sing a ballad, especially this early into his career. I didn't really care about the lyrics at all, and structurally, I mean, it's fine. It's about as good as you're gonna get on this album, but I'm still not particularly impressed by really anything. And the animal noises, I mean, they're not terrible, but they get to be a bit annoying after a while. And yeah, I just don't like him as a vocalist. And it wasn't like it was all that pretty. I guess it was sort of, but I don't know. I was mostly just bored with that. I'll give it a 5.
Much closer to Cole's opinion. The nature, as you put it, naturescape sound of this was extremely forced, and I was not a fan of how they forced it. It sounded way, it created an atmosphere in all the wrong ways because it was so forced, and it sounded way too. This is gonna sound crazy, and you're gonna be like, "That's the whole point," and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't like it." It sounded way too realistic. That was a problem. I want something that's made through an instrumental. Like a nature sounds, but made through an instrument, not actually just like they probably went out and recorded like their local park real quick. And the reason I think that is because their local park, when you go record it or whatever, it sounds a little weird on a recording. It does. It sounds very annoying, actually. I hated the bug that kept flying around that they had to swat like 17 times at the end. It was way too long. It didn't need to be however 7.5 minutes long or whatever it is. Roger's a decent singer on here, but nothing special. The lyrics were kind of pretty. The only saving grace about this from a actual interesting perspective was the hook was good. I like the way he blended the melody in right there, like da 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 da. I like that. That was a soothing hook to go by. Everything else I would give away in a heartbeat because I don't particularly care about the acoustic guitar. It's very twangy, and I don't know, when you get a super twangy acoustic guitar, like super stringy, super like, you know, tight, it doesn't sound right on at least the way they're recording it.
Super stringy stringed instrument.
When you can hear every pull of every single finger,
It's an
hate
acoustic
that.
guitar
I know,
being recorded. That's what happens.
You can clean it up though, and you don't have to make it sound so goddamn raw.
Holy shit.
And I hate that. I've mentioned this multiple times before. I'm not a fan of that sound.
That's it.
It literally, irritates me to hear it.
When you play a guitar.
Huh?
So it's literally what happens when you play a guitar, especially
Yes.
an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to keep it in there. You can edit it out to sound better. 5.5. All right, let's see what chat says. Nice and calming. Kind of enjoy that, to be honest. 7.5, which makes this an Ummagumma 10. Fair enough. Yeah, David paid bass on more than half their 70s songs. Wow, I did not know that. Decent and calm, but the sound of bird will haunt me in my night. The sound of that bird was so loud. 7 from Capricorn, 7.5 from 8 from Jonathan. Best one so far, still boring. 6+. Yeah, it's still a boring song for the most part. 8 out of 10. What about that fly swat? It took way too long, my brother. 4.5 from No Username. 5, pretty pretentious from Pin Sticker. 6.5 from Hugo. Hate the buzzing as well. I hated that too. Should probably push the part down to a 4, 2.5 as well. Too realistic, sounds like Red Dead 2 haters. I think Red Dead Redemption 1 is better than Red Dead Redemption 2, but that's just my opinion. Edit out string noise in 69. Well, you don't have to make it so, well, yes, you can, but 2, you don't have to make it so goddamn like loud. It's just so loud. You could tone it down. You can at least make it softer sounding. If you can't get rid of the whole thing, you can at least turn down the sound of it.
It's an acoustic guitar. You can't turn down sound.
Talking about in the production.
But then you're going to be cutting out the noise of the actual music of the acoustic guitar.
When you make those stringy things, there's nothing happening except that stringy thing, and then immediately after you get the actual tone. So you can turn that part down, bring the other part back up instantly.
That would sound awful. Just the audio going up and down, up and down.
I don't think you're hearing me properly when I say that. I don't know.
Turn it down, turn it back up when it does that. That's
but
goofy.
There's a way to do it and smoothly do it. I'm not saying the correct term for it, but there is a way in production to do that. That's all I'm saying. All right, we got to move on to the absolute best Pink Floyd song of all time. Several species of small furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict.
I'm gonna run into traffic.
We made it, fellas. I'm
about to run into traffic.
Alex, I did get past the snow. Shut the fuck up.
This very much plays in the trap house. Tapping.
You are unironically wrong, Patrick. For the record, just for this beginning alone, 0. This is why you should never give musicians an unlimited budget. Ever.
I don't think they had anywhere near an unlimited budget. In fact, if anything, they were really broke at this point.
Where am my stress balls? I know I have them somewhere. Fuck, threw them away.
Calvin is tweaking in my left ear. Theodore's tweaking in my right ear.
How do you achieve these noises? It's kind of impressive.
They probably just pitched something up like crazy.
I find this incredibly impressive.
No, as our resident Pink Floyd expert, what was their thought making this?
A lot of drugs. Not good.
We don't have any other ideas.
This is generationally bad.
I want to just imagine they're all sitting in a studio being like,
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see them
actually recording this.
No, I want to see them, because you know they listened to this album before they had it released, like a few times, and I just want to see them all sitting in the room together,
this shit
listening to this,
bro.
Imagine how better Through the Wire would have been if this was the sample. Sample this, Kanye.
I think that was Simon that time.
Holy.
Still haven't heard Theodore yet.
I can't tell if they're having an orgy. Are they having an orgy or are they getting killed? I can't tell which is happening.
I think the most offensive thing is about this song is the lyrics.
Spit.
And then great Marion took a wee lemur in a bucket and ran down the mountain stain, on the fiery whore that was
That's
straight bars.
That's so funny.
But English sounds like to people who don't speak English.
What I was gonna say more is
Scottish
like,
English,
like
I guess.
This is like an English. This is like an American trying to speak Irish. And the wind cried meth.
It definitely says Mary. Yeah, it says Mary.
No.
Sounded like you said meth.
It did.
It was a shitty accent.
Do you think
I
the other members of the
forgot
band?
what
I don't
that's
know
about.
who
Oh
came
my
up
God.
with this one.
Roger Waters.
Of course.
Do you think the rest of the band was sitting there listening to this before they released it, and they were just like, "Well, that was a nightmare, but I don't have anything better, and I don't have the authority to tell them that that was terrible."
What the hell is the official name of this?
Well, I guess it makes the album, guys.
Groovin' with a pick. That's right.
It's called Several Small Species.
Adam. Groovin' and grooving with a pick. There we go. All right. Yeah. Noah.
Okay. This song is so funny. I actually have a good time listening to it because of how bad it is. It's like Corey Feldman. It's where like it's awful. Everybody knows it's awful. But you listen to it anyway, because it's just who would do this? And why is this
Pink
a thing?
Floyd would do this.
And it's so awesome. It's so funny. When Roger comes into the accent, that is pure comedy. But we're ranking it off musical quality. So sadly, it gets a 0.
Shocking. I don't really know what to say that hasn't been said or been thought. it's horrific. It's awful. It's the worst song by Pink Floyd I've ever heard. And it's almost 5 minutes long. And yes, this is worse than a Spanish piece, because a Spanish piece, while horrific and I was stunned, was only like a minute 10, whatever it was. This is almost 5 minutes long. And there is every single second of it just some of the worst goddamn music ever created on this planet. Music is being extremely generous there as well. And an offensively bad Irish Scottish accent from a guy who probably grew up around them, considering English people are intertwined with Scottish and Irish people quite a lot in their life if you grew up in the UK. So offensively bad, maybe on purpose offensively bad. You know, I actually disagree with one of the comments I just saw. Somebody said thunder over several species, or sorry, this over Imagine Dragons Thunder. I'd listen to Imagine Dragons before I ever listen to this again. If I could go into the negatives, I would, but I can't. So 0.
I'm listening to this over Thunder. Thunder
I'm
pisses
taking
me off.
half of
This
Imagine
makes me laugh.
Dragons discography over this
Thunder,
every day.
Thunder. I
Cole.
fucking hate that song.
I mean, words fail me. Probably the worst thing in their discography.
Probably. What is worse?
I don't know. I don't remember the rest of this album, so I don't know. Unironically, probably one of the 10 worst songs of the 1960s.
I would love to hear what's worse. Or what?
I don't know. I actually don't want to hear what's worse, honestly, because that would be just morally wrong. Yeah, I'm feeling a 0. That was pretty rough.
Hard to get us all to agree and universally hate something, but it's that bad. Although Noah doesn't hate it, so
I guess the accent is funny. I guess, but it's not funny.
Bad.
It's not funny because it's clever,
no,
or like witty or something. It's funny because it's retarded.
It's funny because it's just done horribly. This is the worst part. And you know, I'm wondering if he genuinely was doing that bad on purpose, because I guarantee you he knows how to do a real, whatever he's trying to do, a Scottish or Irish. It's hard sometimes to tell the difference. I guarantee you he probably knows how to do a real one. So not sure what he was going for. All right, let's see. Chat, did anyone get this above a 0? 0.1 from username 6, 0 out of 10 from Carnicorn, 10 out of 10 in The Wind Cried Mary. This sounds like bad. 2 from I'm Him, AT Field, ironic, 10 out of 10. 1 for the authentic Scottish accent. People underrated Waters' experimentalism. I don't think they did on this. The mixing is so bad it tickles. Yeah, that we didn't even talk about how horribly this album is mixed, really, at all. Like, we barely mentioned that at all. A second recording of Ummagumma is half of each side devoted to a solo experiment by each member. Yes, we are aware. Well, a minute. First 0 on stream from Hugo. There it is. His first ever 0. I mean, if you're ever going to give it a 0, it's pretty simple, this one. You got to see Ummagumma in context. I don't know what context could be different than what we know about it that would make this better somehow.
I don't know why you explaining something to me about this album would make it sound better.
I don't get how people are saying, like, because this song is funny, it deserves a rating of higher than a 0. I don't get that. Like, no, I don't understand why. I don't know. Let's see. Roger Waters made all the sounds of this on this track with his own voice and using tape effects. Well, Linimal, he sounds really, really bad doing it. So he shouldn't have done that. It's a picked accent and a damn good one, actually. It doesn't sound very good. If that's an accurate accent of someone who's picked, I don't want to hear that ever. 6 from Wolney. Fair enough. You quite enjoy this album. You've already said that. Yeah, I saw also ironic to then. Yes, Beefy, the mix. There are artists who in the 60s were able to mix it far better than this album. I mean, the Beatles come to mind right away. So they sort of dominated the 60s in a lot of ways.
A lot of money. They had a whole lot of money.
Okay, but this is the 4th Floyd album. It's not like they're starving.
They really hadn't broke it very big yet.
Whatever. Narrow Way Part 1. So
Hell
many
yeah.
there's so many just pure instrumentals on this album. That was unnecessary, but okay.
They're about to improve a little bit for a couple songs.
You had to be there in the studio with him doing copious amounts of drugs in order for
You
what?
had to be there.
For what? To somehow make this album make sense? Yes, Floyd were starving. Brother, even if they were starving,
5% better though.
Yeah, well, they had multiple albums already with better mixing. This is just incompetence on their part for this album. Or just a lack of caring. I'm gonna leave it to the lack of caring. Noah, do you like this guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe it's just my autistic ass, but I cannot stand the multiple rhythms right now. They do not seem to coincide at all.
Ummagumma polyrhythms.
Is that an actual term that you're throwing out there? Is like real?
Polyrhythms? Yeah.
Oh. Okay. What the fuck was the point of that?
Hell yeah, David.
Wow. Hey, y'all are not Tangerine Dream.
Beefy, I don't even know what you're talking about. We came into this stating that we thought this was their worst album beforehand.
Alright.
Oh, I didn't even realize it switched over. My fault. All right.
We got our banger coming.
That was Narrow Way Part 1. Cole.
Give a share on this album.
I mean, I don't really know what other criticism to make about this album at this point, other than just like they are just so directionless here. They don't know what they want to do, so they're just. I guess they're just trying to follow in the footsteps of Syd Barrett and be experimental, but I guess they're trying to go even further. But they really don't know how to do it. Because they just sound so completely devoid of ideas that everything they're trying is just feels so half-assed. It feels so awkward and clunky, and it just doesn't work for me at all. I guess the first half of that was whatever. It was fine, I guess. Just kind of some awkward blues guitar playing. But the second half of that was really rough. I'll give that a 3 to 3.5.
There were some decent parts of this. I hate the multi rhythms that are happening and the random interluded guitar that would play for like a second and then go away, like whoa, like wobble in, go in for like maybe a second to 2 seconds and then immediately get stripped out again. And that happened a couple times. That kind of annoyed me because even if I'm trying to strum, like in my head, strum along with this acoustic guitar, the interluding things would just change it up and completely like break rhythm, and it was actually quite annoying. Now, maybe some people like that. I guess there's some people who enjoy fucking random things just coming into a song and taking it over for a split second and leaving. I really don't get why this album has such few lyrics on it. Maybe they just didn't know who they wanted to be their main vocalist yet. Maybe they didn't have any really great lyrics to write yet. Maybe they didn't have any shit to talk about. I don't really know. Cole, I think you kind of nailed the head on the coffin on the what's the fuck it's saying? Nail in the coffin or whatever.
Hit the nail on the head.
Nail on the head. There it is. That's what I was looking for. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said this is completely directionless. Not just this song, but album as a whole. But this song seemed like it was going nowhere. I don't even know what the hell the point of it was. It was just repeated melody with nothing breaking it, or with random things breaking up here and there for only a second. Nothing good. 3 is a solid rating.
Okay. This is not bad. I think the acoustic noodling is pretty good.
Acoustic noodling.
I mean, that's the best way I can describe it.
But the random interluding breakups that happen with the other guitar really
almost
ruined
like
the
I was
melody.
gonna get to that.
Okay.
Almost like I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He tried to experiment a bit with dynamics in a way as to where he would just raise the volume really loud and back down. Didn't really work very well. The slide guitar at some points was pretty cool. At other points, it was a little annoying. Overall, I'd give it a 6.
Really?
Yes, I would.
You let me ask you something. Do you actively go back to that song? Ever?
It's a 6. No, I don't.
Okay, well, I have some songs that are rated like a 6. I occasionally will listen
Yeah,
to.
you have lower standards than me, I know.
Okay, but I doubt you actually seek out that song, though, ever.
Yeah, because it's a 6. You're right, I don't.
It just seems weird. Okay. All right, chat, let's see. We have Decent and Strange Blues of Bad Effects. It kind of was a bluesy song, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess a little bit was. 6 out from Carnicorn, 6.5. 6 out of 10 from AT Field. A bad Floyd album is still a Floyd album. That doesn't even make sense. This kind of gave me a headache. 3+ from I'm Him.
Bad.
Yes. Sysyphus, who had this. Okay, you're not talking about this song. Not good 5 from No Username. 4 almost palatable from Pin Sticker. And it starts off nice and didn't really go anywhere, just ends on pointless noise at the end. 4 from Hugo. Produced for this album, also produced all the Beatles albums until Rubber Soul. Well, if that's the case, then there's no excuse for why there's bad mixing or production on this. There's just none.
Less money.
Even still, you have a legendary, well, theoretically a legendary producer on your team. There should be zero excuse.
Less money, that's the excuse.
But that's not even an excuse, because the Beatles didn't start out with a ton of bankroll, and they still had better produced albums than this. And Floyd also had better production on their albums in the first 3. Yeah. No excuse. At least not for it to be this bad. I'll say that. 5 for Jonathan. Do you think this one demands a re-listen? Fair enough. 7 from Wolney. All right. Well, let's move on to Narrowway Part 2. Beefy, I just gotta say, I entirely disagree with that comment, but I don't feel like arguing it right now. That being said, if you do want to argue with us about it, join the Discord. I'll even post it. Feel free to drop all your arguments in there. Now, I fuck with this a little bit. Some metal bands that definitely took this rhythm or this riff to try to make a little better. So whose part of the album is this?
David Gilmour.
That would explain the improvements in the guitar.
I demand to go first on part 3.
Go first whenever you want, champ.
Yeah, honestly. All right, well,
Okay,
that was
that was it.
Narrow Way Part 2. Shit, you can go first on the rest of the album if you want.
Oh, yeah, this is a sick little guitar riff. Big fan of it. Goes on for a little too long. I am a fan of when it kind of gets all like warbled in the background. I think that actually sounds pretty cool. When it comes to the psychedelic nonsense that happens on this album, I think this is one of the more tolerable moments. It really doesn't bother me that much. I kind of zone out to it. In total, not bad. I would give that like a 6 as well.
So this is probably the first song I haven't actively despised in some form or fashion. I've given some songs a little bit of a higher rating. Like I gave us the first song a 6. I mean, it was only a minute long, and then I think I gave I gave Grantchester Meadows 5.5. I maybe despise it, but this is definitely the first okay to good song on here. Really love the guitar, or not love, but I really like the guitar. Especially, I think David's come out with a killer riff there that I think I would assume some metal bands have used that in something, because that is a very metal heavy type of riff right there from a guitar. Other than that, however, that definitely hard carried it, because the astral noises and effects weren't leading to anything, and it's a rather short song, so nothing else really happened in it. I assume this Narrow Way Part 1 through 3 is meant to be listened as one big song, I guess, but the way we do it, of course, is a little different, and Spotify has them as 3 separate songs, so we're gonna rate them as separate songs. Cool, but nothing didn't lead to anything. 5.5 to a 6. Cool.
I mean, yeah, it's a well-written riff. It's also mixed like garbage. Yeah, I mean, the only compliment I have for the song is that it's a cool riff. Outside of that, I really didn't like anything. 4.5, 5.
4.5 to a 5. Repetitive and boring, 5 out of 10 from Carnicorn. Narrow Way Part 2 is 6.7 from No Username. Could have been better, 7 for I Am Him. 6.6 to a 7 from Jonathan. Just gonna second Noah. 5.5 from Hugo. 5 for the riff from Pin Sticker. Yeah, it sounded like a Saucer demo. Did Saucer
I'm
have
getting
a lot of
excited.
summer? I don't remember that.
I get to listen to Narrowway Part 3. I'm getting happy.
All right, up next, Narrowway Part 3. Look at the lyrics
Big
again.
fan.
I only seem to appreciate distorted guitar. No. And 8 from Wolney on the previous song. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. I don't know how to say your first name. Dusk. That's the only way I would say it.
Following the path as it leads towards the darkness in the north. Weary strangers' faces show their sympathy. They've seen that hope before. But if you want to stay, rest your aching limbs for a little bit. Before leaving the night is
Oh my god, why do all these bands lick their fucking lips when they sing?
God, this sounds so good.
misty swirling creatures crawling here.
Unfortunately, Pixie could not attend for the night, James. This is David Gilmour on drums?
Yeah.
Wow.
For sure, this is David Gilmour on everything.
Why?
It's because he can. Why not?
He's trying his best with the drums. I'll give him credit. It ain't perfect, but he's trying his best. All right, that was part 3 of the narrow way.
Hell yeah.
I can't type. No good.
I think this is actually a banger.
Do you?
I think a lot of the downsides of the album actually work in the song's favor. I think the lo-fi sound actually fits this song perfectly. Big fan of the creepy vibe that had been going on the whole album. Works really well here. Very eerie. David sounds great. Guitar work is really good. Big fan of the slide guitar. Bass sounds good. I like how the drums sound. Again, it kind of works in favor of the lo-fi sound. This is definitely, in my opinion, one of the high points in their early discography. Criminally underrated song. I'd give that 8.5.
8.5. Wow. Cole.
I mean, it's pretty handily the best song on the album. There are still a lot of moments where it feels not super well put together, like a little uncoordinated, a little janky. But it's okay. It's all right. A decent chorus, but other than that, I mean, it's mostly just like whatever to me. I'll throw it a 6.
The idea of a whole band splitting up an album into individual parts and then you're responsible for every single aspect of that song kind of irritates me a bit. I don't really like that idea at all because you're not going to be an expert at every instrument. You're not going to be as good as some people in the band at other instruments just by nature of you being whatever reason you came into the band you're going to be better at. I thought David by far did the best out of everyone so far on splitting up the instruments, and he sounds the most talented at this stage of Pink Floyd for what they could do on that instrument. The only one he seemed to struggle on was the drums a bit. Some of the just not going as fast as probably he needed to, but it was okay. It was a well-paced song. I like his singing. Lyrics were okay. They weren't great. I think he'll get a lot. I think when Roger Waters sort of takes over lyric writing, it gets a lot better. So that'll happen eventually. I had really no issue with the song. I thought the guitar sounded great, which is his specialty, so it should. And yeah, solid song. I'll give it a 7. Solid song, nice tune, and it carried its weight. Definitely better than most of the album has. All right, let's see what chat has to say. Easily,
did you give a rating?
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Easily best song of the LP. Cool prototype from later albums. 8 to 8.5 from Carnicorn. Lacking on the fills a bit there. Yeah, I don't think it was shit. He's just not a I don't think that's what he's like professional at. Clearly, he doesn't really do that on a professional scale. 4 to 4.5. The lyrics of the song felt so weak for me. There was something off. Jonathan, not a big fan. 4.3 from No Username. I'm Him. I like it. 7+. 7 from Woolney. 7.5. Album makes much more sense in 69 than in 25. Maybe, Patrick. 7, best song so far. Not so keen on David Gilmour's vocal, though. Okay, pen sticker. 7 from A.T. Field. Fantastic drum machine work from Gilmour. And that, yeah, this is one of the most underrated tracks from early Floyd. By far the best song on the album. 8 to 8.5 from Hugo. All right. We at the garden party section. We are. Who did Garden Vizier's grand party section?
Mason.
Nick Mason section. All right. Up next, Grand Vizier's Garden Party Part 1 entrance. Luckily, Floyd did it first to make sure no one else was silly enough to do it. That's certainly a way of looking at it.
A woodwind instrument? Black Country New Road inspired? Copying Black Country New Road?
Obviously.
I'm gonna say that every time I hear a flute or a horn on anything.
I know you're a champ.
Roger was the only one who wanted to create the album this way. Yeah, Roger made a lot of interesting decisions.
Roger tended to always get his way.
Well, I wonder why that sounded so drum heavy. Maybe it's because it was the drum.
Foreshadowing.
All right, the Grand Vizier's Garden Party Part 1. Cole.
Well, there was borderline nothing. So, not a whole lot to go off of there. 4.5 to a 5.
4.5 to a 5. This is sort of just Cole just said it. This is pretty much nothing. It's a flute that gets a little wobbly, and then a drum going really fast and going bing, and that's about it. So 5. Noah.
Yeah, it's really. I'm just gonna back everything Cole said. 5.
All right, quick and simple. Up next, part 2. The entertainment part.
Entertainment. Imagine pulling up to the garden party and Nick Mason just pulls out a drum solo. That feels very out of place. That's the word.
Drummers are so weird. They are weird people. Not as weird as bass guitar players, but they are weird people. Bass guitar players are odd dudes.
The wood block and the little triplet he does out of nowhere for no reason. It's so weird. I'm semi-entertained, mostly confused.
I didn't know some.
Nick Mason just stuck his Dyson vacuum into the microphone.
That was very loud. I was gonna say I didn't know so many different noises could be made from random ass instruments, like a wooden block, what sounded like a whistle.
Is this Brian Eno?
This is Brian Eno. Actually, I was gonna say this sounds a lot like Aphex Twin.
This would actually be decent ambient if the drums weren't so, I don't know,
big.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like Minecraft soundtrack. Almost.
It's cutting out disintegration loops. It's disintegrating.
Like, this is a point where having multiple people on your song playing instruments would be so much better than you doing everything. Because they can make this such a smoother transition.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking this more than I remembered. This is Richard D. James. Yeah, it is.
That is way too close to the microphone.
He's fucking with them tape loops.
Arctic Monkey's reaction hit 10K. That's awesome. First 10K video. W.
Actually, everybody here likes Brian Eno.
Who's shit talking Brian Eno?
What do you mean? Eno, ambient,
Well,
0 out of 10 boy. What?
Well, he's
But
saying that's what
boy.
we'd say.
Brian Eno is my favorite solo artist of all time.
That's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ambient music is my second favorite genre of music. I fucking love Brian Eno, especially his ambient stuff.
What the hell is this? This isn't even music. This is just noise. It's not even noise because it's like too sporadic.
I'm feeling the same with you, Hugo. I was with myself at the start as well. Now
Yeah,
I'm
that's in
also
the
getting a
first
little
half.
lost.
Not gonna lie.
A little bit.
Did he
I just wonder what-
run out of things to do?
What feeling is this supposed to evoke out of me?
It's giving me a little bit of anger right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know if drugs could make this more interesting. First half was cool. Yeah, a lot of this album goes into the Trap House playlist. Neil Peart to non-Rush fans.
When do we get to do Brian Eno so I can just glaze it? Glaze it to death.
I am so bored.
Overstimulated. There it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not typing all that. Copy, paste. Part 2. Who would like to start?
I'll just go first on.
All right,
I'll just
no.
finish it out.
Finish it out.
First half, this is actually pretty cool. It actually sounded like some good ambient music. Had a solid melody to it. Not changing a lot, but still enough to keep my attention while still sounding good. Second half, he was just fucking with tape loops. Got kind of silly. It wore off really fast, but it went on for like 3.5 more minutes. So yeah, not a fan of the second half. First half, surprisingly a fan of. I'd give that like a 5.5.
5.5. I thought I would like that more than I would because I thought the drummer was going to be a bit more creative, and it feels like after the first 2 minutes he just lost ideas, and so he just started repeating the same inner fill over with a little bit of like randomness thrown in there on a couple different outside instruments to like somehow force a song to come through, because if like Why is this 7 minutes long? Why? Is it just because everyone else on the band created a 5+ minute long song? So is it Richard Wright or Nick Mason?
Nick Mason.
Nick Mason just felt like I gotta have something long too, so I'll just throw in some drum fills with a couple instruments and call it my long song. I don't know. I really don't. I'm genuinely asking you, Floyd fans. I have no clue why this is this long. It doesn't need to be. It adds nothing. You could have taken 2.5 to even 3 minutes off of this and kept that last 30 seconds and made a 4-minute song, and boom, you have a far better song. You're a virgin on a 7.5 to an 8. Instead, you get a 3.
You think Floyd fans have the answer?
I'm asking. I'm just asking. I don't know if you do or not. I'm just simply asking.
No clue.
All right, no.
Go ahead, Cole.
Yes.
Yes.
First half was mostly just forgettable for me.
Lame.
The second half was just like malarkey. I don't even really know what to make of it. I mean, the first half, there's far better ambient music out there. There's infinitely better ambient music out there than the first half of this song.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Based on that, I'll give it like a 3.5.
Fairly generous of you. Okay, let's see.
You know what? Fuck that.
Oh.
3.
Oh, did I bully you into giving it a 3?
I don't know. We'll find out.
All right. Let's see. Can y'all do some more jazz albums, by the way?
Yes.
AT Field, I can promise you Cole will force us to do more jazz albums in the future. He is a huge
Thursday
jazz fan.
Afternoon is stunning. That song is beautiful.
So yes, there is more in the future. Let's see. Okay, I was getting
Although the Pearl and Apollo are peak.
Zero Bloody Boring from Pin Sticker. I'm adding this to my Trap House playlist from Icy Roo. Love the duality of man right there. There was a minute left when you wrote that. The next part is where it gets good. Kidding. Your brain cells reappeared, Jonathan. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Trippy, strange, and so boring, but not as bad as Sysyphus Part 3, 3.5 from Carnicorn. This one was interesting until that random noises part, which makes it a 3+ from I'm Him. Lowercase out of 10 from AT Field. 2 out of 10 from AT, or 2 out of 10 from AT Field. 1 out of 10 from Icy Roo. I love this mix. I love this song. It's cool. Best song of the album. First time I thought my vinyl record was broken. 9.6 from No Username. Big Grand Vizier Part 2 fan. Wow. Wow. Malarkey. Honestly, the second half ruined it for me. Wasn't a big fan of the first couple minutes. 2 to 4:30, he kind of cooked. Hugo gets it a 2.5 though. I'll say this in every stream till you do it. You guys should react to Morphine's The Night album. Keep saying it in every stream. Maybe we'll do it. That's all I'll say. Maybe we'll do it.
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
I have no idea what it is, but maybe if you annoy us enough, we'll do it. We'll see.
Don't get your hopes up.
All right. Is this the last song of the album? Yes, we are at the last song. So we've made it to the end of Ummagumma. We have the Grand Vizier's Garden Party Part 3 exit, which is literally 39 seconds long. Okay. A Sentient Flamethrower says 10 out of 10 best Pink Floyd song.
The whimsical happy ending.
Hey, no one stopped you from drinking, Hugo. You stopped yourself. Okay. I mean, there it is. Part 3. Nothing else to say. Noah, you volunteered to be it. You are up, sir.
You won't believe this.
Oh boy.
I think the same thing about it as part 1.
So 5.
Yep, it's 39 seconds. Nothing really happened.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Yeah. Extremely short. It's really hard to make a song worth saying anything about in 39 seconds, so I'm going to agree with Noah. 5. Cool.
4 because I didn't really like it.
It's like when you make a song that's like 30 seconds long or whatever, you have to explode into that song immediately to make it worth even having a real ranking because there's just nothing happening. Well, boys, we made it through Ummagumma. It's final rankings time. For those of you who've never been here before, or any new, or maybe not new anymore, Pink Floyd fans, so we are 4 albums deep now. What we do, we take our top 3 of the album, we put it in order, we give the album a 1 to 10 ranking, and then we rank their discography as a whole. Noah, you've been going first this whole time. You can continue.
All right, 3, I'll go. Narrowway Part 2. 2, Grantchester Meadows. 1, Narrowway Part 3.
Wow.
They were really in on this like spooky kind of aesthetic. Did not work most of the time. I don't know. It made some of the songs that weren't part of it, like Grantchester Meadows, feel a bit out of place. But it's kind of hard to feel in place in general on an album that's as all over the place as this one. But I somehow liked it more this time, somehow, than the first time I heard it. But it's still a 4.5.
Wow.
It's still a negative rating, but somehow I liked it more.
I didn't think you were going to go that high even. All right. Oh, yeah. And the discography, sir.
Oh, the discography.
Yes, sir.
4, Ummagumma. 3, More. 2, Piper. 1, Saucerful of Secrets.
All right. So far. All right. My top 3 will be very similar to yours. Narrowway Part 2 at 3. Sysyphus Part 1 at 2. And Narrowway Part 3 at 1. I don't know if that's exactly like yours or not, but no? Okay. Yeah, first time I ever heard this, I think this is the second time I've totally heard this album all the way through. The first time I heard it, I was extremely confused because I had been listening to other albums throughout their Pink Floyd's discography, and I was like, excuse me, what the fuck is this? The idea of a band, each member of a band creating separate parts to the album entirely by themselves, doing all the instruments themselves. The idea is cool, but you should have wrote the songs and then told the band members what they're doing. You should have been the songwriter, not the maker of every song, because there are things you are just not as good as other people at. That's why there are other people in your band, because if you could play all the instruments at once, you would. But there are other people in your band for a reason. I think it failed at everything it was trying to do, but it did show people I think probably the best way to talk about Ummagumma is to say that this showed Floyd where they could not go anymore and where the direction they should go in the future. This is bad. Let's do something different. Because if I don't want to say if it hadn't been for Ummagumma, they would have never reached their peaks, because I can't comment on what they were going to do after Ummagumma anyway. But what I will say is that it certainly showed them this is not where people want us to go at all, and it's not that good as a album. We need to do something different after this. And I think the next few albums will show that they change a little bit. So I'll give them credit for that. I can't give very much credit for this album. 2.5. Oh, and my discography ranking. Yeah, this one's clearly number 4. Number 3 is going to be More. Yeah, I think I still have 2 Pipers, 1 Saucer. Wait, what did I give Saucer? Yeah, no, still the same. All right, cool.
Alrighty. How many 5s did I give out? I know there weren't. Like 2.
1, 2.
Don't you dare put the fucking
3,
entrance.
4. You gave out 4 5s. Well,
name
two actual 5s, and then 2 that are like.
What are the 2? Hold on.
You gave a couple 4.5 to 5s.
Okay, what were the 2 5s?
2 5s were Sysyphus Part 1 and Grantchester Meadows.
Sysyphus Part 1 and 3, Grantchester Meadows 2, and what was the one I gave a Narrowway Part 3, I think.
3 you gave
I
a 6.
gave a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one at 1. Hi, Kin Ummagumma. Listen, I respect the ambition. I respect experimentation. So I admire their willingness to try to do something like this, to just see what they could do. You know, but it's very clear to me that they just did not have any real ideas for what to do with the experimentation. Um, and so they were just, I mean, they were just throwing shit at the wall to see what would stick. And combining that with their lack of direction and not great production, and not really much of lyricism here either. Not that they need to have lyrics, but
There's only like 3 songs with singing on it total.
I wasn't all that impressed by the songs with lyrics regardless. There's just so little here that I like. I cannot imagine I will ever listen to this album again for the rest of my life, hopefully. I don't see a reason why I would. It's got some of their absolute worst moments in their discography on it. And really nothing that even comes remotely close to the best stuff in their discography. Like the best stuff in their discography is in a different stratosphere than this stuff. So yeah, overall in Ummagumma, I'm feeling like a 1.5 to a 2 out of 10.
Half to a 2. And then your discography ranking so far.
Number 4, Ummagumma. Number 3, Piper, The Gates of Dawn. Number 2, Saucer. And number 1, More.
Fair enough. Okay, well, there we have it. We got through Ummagumma. Thank you guys for forcing us to do that. We really, really appreciate it.
Speak for yourself.
That you couldn't hear the sarcasm in my voice. But if you guys did enjoy, leave a like down below and hit subscribe. We also do all of these live, so if you want to join us on the chat, hit the bell to get notified when we go live. Join our Discord, links in the description of all our videos and live streams. We have tons of music ranking channels, tons of places for you to argue about Pink Floyd's Ummagumma if you really feel the need to, or just Pink Floyd or anything you feel the need to argue about in general, and give some music takes and rankings. And follow us on Twitter. We tweet out all our videos and when we're going to go live. Hope you guys did enjoy. That was Pink Floyd's 4th album, Ummagumma. The next video or the next stream should be... We're gonna have to decide that. Not decided yet, but it's either gonna be Radiohead or something else we have another idea of. So hope you guys
probably
enjoy.
Be Wednesday,
and it will probably be Wednesday. Don't know why, but there it is. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, chat. Wait, hold on. Just stop recording. Okay, good. All right, chat. Let's see what we had. Okay, bad album finisher. Okay. 10 out of 10 because it's all finally over. Overall, a 4 out of 10 for I'm Him. 4 and a... Oh, okay. So, what about Careful with That Axe, Eugene? Oh, yeah. We can listen to it really quick while we end the stream. I'll throw it on. A little quieter, though. Not going to throw it on.
Why are these songs so important to you people? These songs are not that fucking good. Good lord.
All right. 5 out of 10 album. Grantchester Meadows Part 3. Save that shit. Unfortunately, I didn't get like this album besides 2-3 songs. 5 to 5.5, but as a whole, it was the worst album I've ever heard by far. All right, Jonathan. P.S. Let me give a shout out to Talking Heads concert movie. Stop Making Sense. I saw it for the first time today, and it's great.
Congrats.
There's experimentation and there's self-indulgence. Yeah, you gotta imagine part of this was them just being like, you know, let's see what fucking cool thing we each can do. 1, Narrowway Part 2. 2, Grantchester Meadows. 3, I don't remember. Oh, you don't. Again, this album was basically them throwing shit at the wall and seeing what could stick. 3 to a 3.5 from Hugo. Ummagumma is English slang for fucking. Well, it was fucking bad.
Okay.
It's still Pink Floyd.
I
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
That means
But,
nothing
like,
to me.
when I see people say like, oh, it's gotta be at least partially good because it's Zeppelin or Beatles or Floyd, it's like
No, it
the
doesn't.
name of the band does not require you to give it a certain rating. just doesn't.
We are judging music on the exact same scale, or at least I am. I don't know about that.
I try to judge every single song and every single album we do on a. I start out completely level. You guys should react to MC5S/T. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Username. Could you be a bit more specific? The song with the birds is my favorite by far and is one of the most memorable. I think that was the very first song, wasn't it?
This Grantchester Meadows.
Oh. Amnesiac.
I assume he's talking.
Live at Pompeii is being re-released in a month or two. That is peak early Pink Floyd. Yeah, I did see they were going live. The Spotify release, Floyd's going live with something new soon. Well, if they're taking the piss with this album, AT Field, they weren't making a whole lot of money at the time, which is a little weird. I keep getting reminded how starving and broke they were as artists, so it'd be a little weird to decide to take the piss with an album when you don't have that much to work with already. I guess if you include the live stuff, this would be a 3.5 to a 4. I mean, that's fair, I guess. I respect the name of what they're gonna do, but that doesn't mean everything you do as an artist is good.
Go for it, Roger. Tom and Jerry ass scream.
Barely even hear it. Clearly not.
That is Roger Waters screaming.
Is MC5 a band I've never heard of?
I'm not sure.
this doing a whole lot for you guys?
It's an okay jam session. I mean, I would say the jam session and Echoes is better than this one.
I just feel they do so much better.
Pompeii version better.
Okay, but we're not listening to that version.
Yeah, so if we were listening to that one, I'd feel a bit more positive about it. But we're listening to this one. I don't know, the live tracks on this album are not even like really great performances of the songs. There's better performances. I don't get the live side hype, except for the... I think people only care about it because of how bad the studio side is.
Well, I don't really understand how the live side even counts, because it's not a studio part of. It's not a studio. It wasn't made in a studio. It's literally made. I mean, it's from other albums. How does that even count to the actual album?
I don't know.
It's not new.
I mean, one of them wasn't. I mean, this song wasn't on any albums. I'm pretty sure it was a single, but still, I guess it's kind of new. Probably new to people who weren't super into Floyd at the time, I guess.
I guess.
Would you consider Kid Cudi a great artist?
I would
Sadly
definitely not.
I'd say he has a couple great albums.
He's got
it's a stretch too.
A couple of good songs.
I would say Kid Cudi is an okay artist with one good album.
Kid See Ghosts, Man on the Moon. There you go. 2 great albums.
Man on the Moon is a good album.
Shut up. Such a bad take. Okay, there you go. Okay,
there.
We're done.
There is the almighty Careful With That Axe, Eugene, which is just apparently a mind-blowing song to Pink Floyd fans.
Alright, let's not be too mean about it.
I'm sorry, I just didn't do anything for me at all.
I think it's pretty good.
Honest question, how much do I have to pay for a complete Fishman's Dust discography reaction series? Good. Didn't you already ask this question, AZ? I don't remember.
I don't know, because we'd have to look at how big it is.
Yeah, we'd have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get through more of the Pink Floyd and Radiohead discographies before we turn them back on. Before we turn any of the paid album requests back on, just because we have a whole list of. We just have so many albums to get through right now that we need to get done a whole lot of albums in order to actually start doing paid requests, because paid requests, they're great, but people love to throw them in multiple at a time, and so then we'll get like 3 to 4 requests that we want to do in the next like week or two, and that delays getting through discographies. It just makes it, and then we can't get into like other genres, other artists, other albums. So we got a time and place for it, but we'll let you know. I don't know. To answer your question, we do not know. But all right, let's see. What else did you guys? I mean, this is the second best song in the album if you want to include it. I guess that's up to I guess it's up to an individual person if they choose to include it.
I can rate it independently.
I would give that song a
if they
7.
wanted it to be on the album, they would have put it on the studio album.
I would give that song a 7 personally.
Something like a 6.5 probably. It's a decent jam session.
Sure. One doesn't buy the Ummagumma album and not get both halves.
Yeah, you don't buy it. I bought it when I was 13 as a joke.
That's
because of how putrid it was compared to the rest. Yeah, and I bought it as a joke because of how putrid it is compared to the rest of Pink Floyd's albums. Because I love Pink Floyd.
All right, chat. It's time for us to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our pain through getting through Ummagumma. Thank you guys for making us do that. Really appreciate it. Definitely deep down, I promise somebody. But all the what do you mean all the live? I don't know what you mean by that, Hugo. We're definitely not doing the Floyd live albums, but anyway. No, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Our next stream I'm not sure. We're gonna have to configure that out, and we'll let you guys know. But it should probably either be the next Radiohead album, or I'd probably be the next Radiohead album. We will see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like down below, hit subscribe, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord. I will throw it in there one more time for you guys, and I will see you. We will all see you in the next stream. Have a good night.